Hi, y'all. I will start this off by saying I am by no means a relationship expert. But at this stage in my life, I've had enough experiences to be qualified to share some tips about intimate relationships, y'all, for those who are inclined to indulge in listening to this recording. First of all, I want to tell y'all about a couple of my experiences in the love boat. When I was about, I guess, 19 or 20, I got married somewhere around there to a guy I had been with since I was like 13 years old, off and on. We broke up, got back together. Y'all, some of y'all know what I mean. So I ended up marrying him, and then lo and behold, he became a small time drug dealer, drug user, and plus he was pimping this one woman. I mean to tell you, at the time after we got married, I became maybe about a year later, I became a Christian. So since I was a Christian, and they taught us that you stay with your husband, you pray through, and so I thought I was doing my good religious duty by staying with this man. Until finally, I mean, I couldn't take it anymore. I had to save Sandra, and so I went ahead and got a divorce. And I'm not saying he was a bad person. He made some bad decisions like we all do. And I told somebody later on after we broke up, I said, he's a beautiful person and I'm a beautiful person, but we stopped being beautiful together. Okay? So that was that. And then later on, I got quite a few years older. I ended up with this guy. We had been living together for about 5 years. At the time, I was a backslidden Christian. I left the church, y'all, and went back into the world. And so anyhow, I got with him, and for 5 years, it was a very lovely relationship. It was harmonious, and it was just, we were both in love with one another, and it was just precious, okay? Then lo and behold, I decided that I was going to go back to Jesus, y'all. And my man told me he didn't sign up for that. So one thing led to another. What I was trying to do was wait until the Lord saved him so we could get married and live a life that was not of a sinful nature. So anyhow, one day he told me he wasn't feeling me anymore and that we needed to have a break and he needed some space. And he told me, it would be best for me to go ahead and move out, and see if we could get back together maybe at a later stage. But no! I dug my heels and decided I was going to stay and wait on the Lord to save this man for me. Well, he got saved, all right. Dude ended up, this woman had moved into the neighborhood. She'd been there about maybe 8 months, something like that. And he ended up moving in with her next door, y'all. I was tore up from the floor up. That's an understatement. I had to look out my window damn near every day and see those two together. For about 2 weeks, I could barely go to work. I could hardly eat or anything. I mean, I lost weight. I just slept because sleep was my way of escape. I didn't resort to the drugs and the alcohol. I wanted to sleep as much as I could. So anyhow, he stayed with her about 3 months, and then he discovered, I don't know how much time he had been with her before he discovered, but it came out that she was a crack addict, going uptown, making booty calls to help her to sustain her crack habit, okay? So she pretty much was a dud. That's an understatement. And he told somebody later on, he said, I left an angel to be with the devil. So anyway, they ended up breaking up. So him and I, he eventually came back to me with much remorse because life was kicking his ass for what he did to me. And it wasn't all his fault because he did tell me a year before that he wasn't feeling me anymore and for me to more or less move out. And I decided I was going to stay. So I asked for some of that myself. So people, women, men, if somebody tells you they're not feeling you anymore and to give them their space, I would highly recommend that you heed what they suggest, because if they tell you that or show you signs of that, they really mean it, y'all, okay? And you can save yourself some of what I had to go through in regard to my heartache and so forth and so on. Anyway, I eventually healed and recovered. But I just want to tell people, especially young people who are just getting into relationships, do not expect someone else to make you whole. You need to be whole when you're alone, and they need to be whole when they come to you, and two wholes need to strive to make a harmonious relationship work. Okay, because you can't depend on someone else to make you have a content emotional, mental life. That has to come from within you. Don't depend on anyone else to make you happy. That needs to come from within you. That is not their role. They are there to supplement your life, not for you to depend on them. So keep it real and love yourself more than anything or any